Everybody, it's Desiree and I'm back with another process video here on my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to use a stuck sketch challenge. I found them on Instagram. I've never used any of their sketches before, and I'm showing you right now what the sketch looks like. And I was really drawn to this one. It looked very easy to do. Sometimes in the past when I have used a sketch, I tend to overthink things and then I don't think out of the box and I feel like it has to look exactly like the sketch. However, this one flowed really easy, and I think I want to start using a lot more sketches just because of how fast this layout came together. So I used some crepe paper, Little U, both the boy and the girl's line, and right now I'm using a Lawn Fawn, one of their inks. It's a gray one. I cannot think of what the name of the color is, but I ink all the edges, and I've never used any other color in the past besides brown, or sometimes I've used the color like blue if I was using blue paper. However, I've never used gray or black, and so I was really caught off guard by the look of it. Now, looking back on it, I could have left it alone. However, I go over it using the same color that I always tend to use, which is Walnut Stain by Tim Holtz. Either color ended up coming out great. The brown ends up matching with that vintage tape that crepe paper tends to do with one of their papers in their collection. Now, the sketch does call for scallop strips of paper, and so I cut up just a few. However, I didn't use, I think they had shown several in their sketch, and I tend to only use these two right here. Now, I tried to use washi tape, and for those of you that have been watching me for a while know that I am no good at washi tape, and this just kind of shows you. I struggled with it. I watched Tina Gale, and she could have all her papers glued down, and she can wove that washi tape in between her papers, no problem. I tried to do it, and it looked like I looked like a toddler for using Scotch tape for the first time. Everything's sticking to my fingers, to the paper, except for where I want it to go. So I scratched that idea and just say, all right, just keep moving on. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Okay. So in the sketch it also shows fishtail banners, which I tend to do to create another layering piece. Now, one thing I'm trying to get away from is I tend to overthink things where it could go for hours. And oh my gosh, it takes up, a whole day sometimes for me to do a layout, and I'm trying not to overthink on this layout. And with that, I feel like I kind of created a lot more layers. I love layers, and I really want to start using a lot more, or adding a lot more layers to my layout instead of the simplicity of it. So I find that if I don't overthink things, I tend to just stick stuff down. The layers kind of come together. So I'm using a new tool, and that is that tag that you see right there. I just recently purchased the Tim Holtz tag framelits. I was watching a fellow YouTuber, Becky Bidding, and she was talking about how this is her favorite die set because she loves tags. I love tags. However, I only get them either if in an ephemera pack or if I try to make my own, and the end where the angles are never turn out. So because she mentioned this Tim Holtz one, I went on a hunt and I found one. So if you're looking for them, it comes in I think there's 8 dies in the package. It's like 3 or 4 different sizes of the tags, and then you get some other pieces such as that the outer ring that goes over the hole punch of the tag as well. And yeah, it ended up working out beautifully because I created my own tag. Now I am going to realize that the tag is not long enough, and so I'm going to cut the tag in half and then extend it, and no one will know the difference. I think I'm going to start doing that right now. Yeah. And all I'm going to do is just lift the paper, cut the scissors. It's not going to be perfectly straight, but it's not going to matter because the photos are going to cover it anyways. So one thing I did notice is I did not layer any papers underneath my photo or map my photos. I always do that. I just left the white trim from the original photo, which is okay because I think I had a lot going on as it is. Now, if you're wondering about this photo, I've already done this layout for my daughter's album, and I really wanted to have it in my son's album as well. And this was the first time my son actually held his baby sister. And she was only not even 2 weeks old at the time. And they're 18 months apart. And he was like, Mommy, I want to hold her. And I said, okay, you got to sit down on the couch. And I put her in his arms, or on his lap. And he was just in awe of her. He gave her kisses all the time. He would want to feed her. Anything Mommy was doing with her, he wanted to do. And he was like, I want to play with her. And I was like, well, honey, she's just a baby. You can't play with her yet, but one day you will. And there's not going to be a title for this. It's just going to have little sayings that result to what the feeling is in this picture. And that sticker that I just stuck down that says the word smitten, that is what he was. He was smitten of her. And to this day, he loves her so. They love each other so much. They are very close. They only have each other. So they are best of each other's friends. But I'm not going to lie. They have their moments where they will fight. But I think all siblings do, right? It makes it healthy. So they, like I said, are each other's best friend. It's funny, though, when they go to school together, even though they're 1 grade apart, they don't hang out with each other at all. They'll say hi, but that's about it. But anyways, so I did pick a couple of stickers from the sticker sheet. Like I said, that banner that says smitten, and then there's like an ABC block that you see also layered underneath that banner. Now, funny thing, I am going to pull out the wood chips that go to both of this collection. I put down the one that has the moon, and I'm like, okay, because it shows in the sketch a circular embellishment. And I love that. I love the wood button on this layout. However, overthinking and hoarding that comes into play, because I'm like, you know what though? They only give me 8 wood buttons, and I just put the cutest wood button on from the Little You Girls collection onto his layout, and it's so cute. I want to use it for her layout, blah blah blah. So I end up removing it, and I tear the paper a little bit, but that's okay because I know that I'm going to put something else in its place. I know I should have just left it because it does look cute. However, it's going to look cute with the other thing that I pick out. Now, off camera, or not off camera, but out of frame, I do go into the chipboard, and that's where I find this little lion and put that down as well. So one thing I love, and you guys have heard me say this many times, I love the cut apart sheets. So I'm going to pick a couple pieces, both from her and his collection. And the one is going to say Tiny Little You, and it's in a hot air balloon. And the other one is going to be from his collection that says I love you this much, because he does. I'm going to stick the foam adhesive underneath both of those cutouts that I just cut. So that way it adds a little bit of dimension. Now off camera, because we are getting to the end, I'm going to add a few more details, and that's because the next day I went and looked at my layout to see what was missing, and I just picked some enamel dots. And then for the title, I'm going to have Sibling Love, using the stickers from that sticker collection, and then also from October Afternoon that were the sticky keys. And then I'm going to add some ink splatters by Heidi Swapp Shine and blush. And then I'm going to also use a Amy Tangerine. I don't know what collection it's from, but it had safety pins. They were a puffy sticker. And I'm going to use that up at the top right there. I'm pointing to it right now, because I never knew what I was going to use those for. So it ended up working great. I tried to incorporate the other two, but I just could not find a place for them, so I didn't want to force it. Anyways, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked this video, if you don't mind, go ahead and hit that subscribe or that like button. And if you don't want to miss any of my upcoming videos, please hit the subscribe button, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me. You all have a wonderful day. Bye.